quiet Sunday evening in Wildwood, Florida. So, how about them Canadian drivers, huh? How about them Ontario oil field trucks, 500, 400, 500 deep? How about it? You need to go watch that video. The boys in Alberta, a lot of the northern drivers that you've been seeing post the yellow ribbons, and you've been, you guys, I try to tell you guys all the time, this whole Stand as One movement, we're not alone here in the United States. We're not alone. People are living under tyranny all over the world when it comes to industry. You know, their own government attacked one of the biggest industries for trucking. The oil fields, you all know, even here in our country, employ owner-operators, truck drivers. Billions of dollars are tied up in oil and production. And a share of that goes to the trucking industry. Because without trucks, the oil doesn't move. Exploration doesn't happen. Equipment doesn't move. Pipe doesn't get brought in. So the boys up in Alberta decided they were going to have enough. And today, they protested. They had to call the RCMP in within 300 miles. They had to call every available resource to where these boys were in Alberta. My hat's off to those of you up there in the north that reached out, and my fellow Canadian drivers that support what we're going to do here on the 12th of April. That was truly amazing. Now, if we, guys, you go watch that video, if we can replicate the exact things that have been happening, if we can find our balls and we can stand on the 12th of April, it doesn't matter. The Democrats, the Republicans, they're all going to have to stop and listen, because everything's going to stop. Alberta, stand as one. Exactly. All over the world, man. I don't care where you are. It doesn't matter. That's a universal thing right there, Travis Tanner. Universal, black smoke matters. That's a fact. Truckers stand as one. It's universal. It's all over. Everybody, for the longest time, I think people are starting to see the pattern. I think people are starting to see. Let me explain something to you. Vince was talking earlier about the lease operators that lease purchase these trucks and how they're going broke, and many of them are going to end up losing their trucks. Well, here's something y'all need to realize and pay close attention to. When Chucky Biddles talks about California needs to get punched in the nuts, everything that happens to us in this country starts in California. Now, I want you all, those of you that don't know about misclassification and what's going on with the misclassification, it's going to affect owner-operators out west. It's working its way through the courts. It's unions and trial lawyers and big money want to remove the owner-operator from existence. And let me explain to you why. For those of you that don't know what's going on out west in California and many other liberal states. If you do not own your equipment, right? That's the first thing. It's a test, okay? It's an ABC test, okay? You don't own your equipment, you can't be an independent contractor. If you don't own your equipment and the carrier tells you where to go, you're not an independent contractor. You're an employee. Now, out of an abundance of caution, they decided that owner-operators who do own their equipment, who are leased onto carriers, that's a large percent of this industry. For those of you that don't know, there's true owner-operators, and then there are people that lease their trucks to carriers that do own their equipment. They choose to work for a carrier for whatever reason. We're sitting here right now, this very moment, and it's happening. They're not going to allow you, if you own your truck and trailer, to lease to a carrier. These are the kind of things we're up against every day. Every day it's something. Every day it's something new. The goal, guys, the goal in the end, I don't know how many times I can say this. The goal is to wipe the owner-operator out of existence. And I want you to pay close attention. You guys, I rub the crystal ball. I want you to pay very close attention to what's going on out west in many of these lawsuits. Pay attention. But you also need to pay attention to the infrastructure bill. And you notice the interchanges where they're going to spend millions and billions of dollars to correct these interchanges. What do you suppose they're doing? With all these projects and all the things they're doing to the highways, what do you suppose they're getting ready for? What do you suppose they're trying to upgrade the infrastructure and make it easier and more accessible? What do you suppose they're doing that for? They're paving the way for autonomous trucks. That's what they're doing. Billions upon billions upon billions of dollars are being spent to improve the infrastructure. Not for you and I. Not for those of us that paid for all of this. Not for those of us that continue to pay as it picks up speed. You're basically working to help wipe your industry out of existence. That's what you're doing. These infrastructure programs, all these roads and interchanges that they're widening and straightening, and these bypass routes, they're all being made for driverless trucks. Straight line, point A to point B. That's what they're doing. You guys need to wake up and pay attention to the world around us. It's not those of us in America woke up one morning and were pissed off because the FMCSA did something stupid, because they've been doing something stupid for a long time. It's just, we see all the things around us. You gotta seriously think about what the 12th of April means. Look around the world. Like I said, go watch the Alberta convoy. Go watch the Alberta oil field workers protest. The truckers. Look around the world and look at France and Argentina and Spain. That whole thing in France was ignited by truck drivers that shut down the road, and that snowballed and propelled until a country was out of control. Do you really think our elected representatives want to see that here? Chaos and destruction? All we have to do is shut these trucks off and go away. All we have to do is cram a few thousand of them somewhere in the country where they can be seen. All we have to do is raise our voices and stand up for ourselves. That's what we have to do. We can't go away quietly into the night. We can't be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease anymore, because they will continue to appease us. Here's my theory once again on the FMCSA's proposal and anyone who wanted to negotiate on our behalf. Because make no mistake, the very people you don't want representing you are on conference calls with Ray Martinez. They're talking in their little groups, trying to give themselves a pat on the fucking back because they want to be the ones that solve the problem. They're part of the problem, because we shouldn't be negotiating. We should be left alone to live our lives and run our businesses and support our families without interference from some agency with an acronym. No FMCSA, no DOT, none of that shit. Should there be rules and regulations? Yeah, we need them in a society. We have to have certain things because some people are retarded. But we don't need them to tell us how to do our job. We don't need to be dictated when to sleep, when to drive, when to eat. We don't need any of that. But these very people, as you sit back and watch, March. They're going to make a big announcement in March. You guys are going to get a split sleeper, or maybe you're going to get this, or maybe you're going to get that. Who knows what you're going to get? But aren't you tired of being told what you have to take? Aren't you tired of being told this is what you're going to do? Or this is your flexibility. Is anybody at all tired of being told what to do, how to think, and how to function? Anybody else besides me? Please tell me I'm not the only one that's tired of being sold a dream. They, listen to me again very clearly, they don't want you. They want their shit. They don't want you. They don't want the owner-operators. It's a collective. Everything they're doing has a pattern. And I'm sorry if some of you can't research and expand your minds. And I'm talking to those that still aren't with us where they need to be. If you don't open your eyes and ask questions and read and study and pay attention, you're going to be a victim just as the rest of us are. So keep fooling yourself. We all have something to lose. The world is watching and waiting to see what we do. It's not hype anymore. Flyers are everywhere. People are holding up banners and signs and talking. The social media world is buzzing. Articles in magazines. It's real. And we're not going to be sold a false bill of goods anymore. There is no driver shortage. For everybody that knows, and for those of you that don't, and the pundits that keep continuing to publish these articles, there is no driver shortage. What there is a shortage of respect and a shit ton of complacency and a huge amount of contempt for the men and women that do this job. That's the problem. The way we're treated, the way we're paid, and then you don't listen to a word we say. You're going to have the final say. Well, I tell you what, Mr. FMCSA, Mrs. Chow, and to the pundits, to the Kevin Rutherfords of the world, to satellite radio people who continue to promulgate the ATA's bullshit. The 12th of April, you can't, I said before, you can stop a lot of things, but what you can't stop is an idea and a set of values. What's happening with the 12th of April is more than some people trying to protest or block roads. It's gone beyond that. And I really wish everyone would just wake up to that fact. It's gone beyond in the minds and the hearts of the men and women that are supportive of it. It's in their heart now and their mind. Very hard to stop something like that. I don't care if the whole industry participates or not. I really don't. Because like I said, all we need are the owner-operators and the small fleets and you lease purchase guys that are being ass-raped 2 ways to Sunday. It's like Vince said earlier, if you're going to lose your shit anyway, you might better just park it in the middle of the road, lock the doors, walk away, and go home. Because either way, it's gonna come back on you. So park the shit. If you're not making any money, every day you wait to find a job or find a solution, your family's going to suffer. Because every week you go negative, you go further negative. And if you think with the current freight rates and the way things are there now, and all the confusion and everything that's happening in the world, that you're going to be able to pull up your bootstraps, work a little bit harder, and save yourself, the system is designed so you fucking fail. You will not succeed. There is no way forward once you're in the hole, lease purchase driver. There is no way out of that hole. You go further into the hole. So you lease purchase guys, look around you and pay close attention because the rates are not getting better. Satellite radio had the audacity on Friday to tell us that this year coming is going to be the year to get into trucking. And fucking OIDA was promulgating that fucking propaganda. OIDA was saying next year is going to be a good year for everybody to run out, buy a truck, and become an owner operator because there's a ton of work. There can be all the work in the world, but if they're not paying us to do it, why are we doing it? Who cares how much work there is if you can't make a living off of that work? And I mean a respectable living, okay? Because none of us are going to haul this 80 cent a mile shit. None of us are hauling this $1.20 a mile shit. We're just not going to do it anymore. We're not going to sit back and we're not going to accept the status quo. We're not. That's what's pissing them off. Pissing them off because of the number of rejected loads that happen every day. Like I said, I watch that. I watch the trend lines. I listen to Bloomberg. I listen to Fox News. I study Wall Street, the stock market. I see the trends. Okay, guess what? The freight rates ain't gonna go anywhere because it's a game. There's plenty of money there. They just don't want you to have it. They're putting it in their pockets and telling you to go pound shit. Like I said, they're trying to convince you that it's roses and peaches and cream. But if you take a deep breath and breathe in, you'll smell the god-awful smell, and it's called shit. So if it looks like shit and smells like shit, it's shit. How many times do I have to say it? Stop buying it. You guys are letting them sell you a bill of goods. There is no legitimate lease purchase plan out there. Not a one. For you suckers and you newbies that don't understand, I'm telling you this with respect and love. Their job is to put you in that truck for you to make the payment and make a little bit of money. Then they hook you. And then you make a little bit of money and then you say, well, everybody can't have a good week, so a bad week is okay. And then you have a bad week and you go negative. But don't worry, they're going to work with you. They're going to help you get out of that hole. There's no coming out of the hole. Just so you know. Stop the madness. Just stop. There isn't a driver shortage. Again, there's a shortage of a lot of things, and it's not truck drivers. It's not. Guys, you know I love you. The truth hurts. I get it. I get it that the truth hurts. I understand for you lease purchase guys that are watching, you are not going to make it if you leased a truck in the last 4 or 5 months. There's no way. Maybe last year you might have had a chance. But if you've recently lease purchased a truck and haven't listened to a word we've been saying, you're going down in a ball of flames. No matter how you cut it, you will never own that truck. It is rare. Do people do it? Yes, they do. But they don't have children. They don't have homes. They have no life. And every minute of every day, they're behind the wheel of the truck making the payment so the company can succeed. And they get lucky. And they fight their way through it. And it's not easy. But a guy with a family and kids who wants to raise his family and see his children and have a quality of life, you're not going to survive. So stop believing the hype. From Carrier 1 all the way down to Hirschbach, every one of these things is a scam. 69 cents a mile for fuel. But what they don't tell you is you have to meet certain criteria, and there's certain things you have to do the way they want you to do it. And if you don't do it, you don't get the 69 cent a mile fuel. It's a game. We are lied to on a daily basis. And again, I know the truth hurts, and not everybody may agree, but those that have been out here long enough know that these lease purchase programs are a trap. They want to give you the sense that you have more freedom and more control. You really don't. You're just a company driver who's paying for the company's truck. That's what you're doing. Exactly. You can make $5,200 a week, and that's what some of these carriers try to tell these young people. Okay, $5,200. Truck payment, insurances, odds and ends, about $1,400 to $1,500 a week. Take out your fuel, $1,000 to $1,100. Now take out all the maintenance and all the other things, the tolls. $1,500 a week is not enough money to run your own truck and to be successful. You cannot build a business on $1,500 a week income. You can lease a truck and continue to pay for somebody else's truck till it blows up and you don't have the money to fix it. That's what you can do. But you will not own that truck. Look around. These companies' lots are full of trucks that other people were driving. If it was so goddamn great, don't you think everybody would be at least purchasing a truck? They lie. They lie. They lie. And again, owner-operators, we're not safe either because, like I said, they want to reclassify you. And here's the catch to what I was trying to tell you before. An independent carrier contractor cannot lease to another carrier contractor. Why? Because you're in the same business, competing. They're not going to allow it. It will never pass the litmus test. If California's liberal 9th district, if that 9th circuit agrees with the labor unions and the trial attorneys, the industry is going to change even quicker. Even quicker. Now, we're on to another subject. We're going to talk about the bull hauler exemption. That's what we're going to talk about for a second. You guys do realize they love to create controversy. They want us at each other's throats, right? Well, here's the stance. I get that there are certain aspects of agriculture and there are certain things that have to happen because, again, I've been around dairy farming most of my young years, and a lot of my families work dairy farms. I get it. I get the whole thing about livestock and raw materials. I get it. What I don't understand is how this exemption makes them safer drivers than we are. See, this is where we're going to have to draw the line, and there's a problem. The problem is they want us at each other's throats. What do? Some segments of the industry do need an exemption. But I'm not so sure that the cattlemen need the exemption. I think the people hauling the feed and the people hauling the seed and the people hauling the raw material, yeah. Anybody hear the story about how many billions of dollars it would cost the cattlemen and how many billions of dollars it's going to cost the livestock producers and growers if they had to meet the mandate, the type of equipment and the locations that would have to be set up to make the transfers to do all the stuff that needed to be done with the cattle? That's why they're fighting it. Because billions of dollars is on the line for the cattlemen and the pork growers and the beef growers, because they would have to buy specialized equipment. They would have to set up specialized yards to transfer these cattle and to water them and do what they had to do so that these cattle could make it to sale. Look, you can't tell me that a guy pulling a load of cattle is safer than you or I or anybody else that's pulling anything else. It's unfair is what it is. And like I said, I get it. But what you guys need to understand is the anger needs to be directed at the FMCSA, the DOT, and everybody else. Because their exemption is great for them. But it's an unfair exemption, nonetheless. And right now it's an unlimited exemption. So I don't even know how the fuck that happened, because the bills that were supposed to pass didn't even pass. And now they're being told they have a pretty much unlimited waiver. Who voted on that? Because we didn't get a vote on our exemptions. We just got fucking told no. Flat out no. That's right. They want the industry divided. Sooner or later, everyone needs to understand, Pelosi and the Democrats, just so everybody's aware, they haven't taken full control yet. All right? When the Democrats get moving, and now Pelosi's kind of like, going to be able to do what she wants when she wants, how long do you think it's going to be before the truck haters start leaning on Nancy and Chuck and start donating big money because a school bus got whacked by a load of cows? Or a load of cows flipped over in the middle of the interstate and took out a family in a minivan. This is the kind of shit that's happening. So the cattlemen got their own problems. Bless their exemption. They keep up these accidents and the things that they're having, their exemption's not going to go very far. So my suggestion to them is they need to police their own industry and start cleaning up their people, because they're not doing a stellar job of looking at that exemption saying that we deserve it. Just saying. Yeah, until further notice. Exactly, Will. Free reign. Would you guys all like an exemption? Anybody who wants an exemption, raise your hand. If you would like the same exemption that the livestock industry gets. Again, keep in mind, there's a reason for that exemption. Some parts of the industry do need it. I agree. But I don't believe that exemptions be a blanket exemption the way it is. Because I want you to think about this. If you've all been paying attention to the way Andrea explains it and the way the DOT explains it and the way the FMCSA explains it, the first 150 miles from where you are to where you're picking up the product, you don't have to log it. Then the 150 miles from where you load it to the source, you don't have to log it. There's 300 miles a day that those motherfuckers don't have to log. Y'all understand that, right? At $2 a mile, 300 miles, that's $600 more they make a day than you do. Because they have an exemption. Y'all get that, right? Are you doing the math now? Let's make it about finance. Let's make it about math. Let's make it about real world shit everybody can understand. When these guys use the exemption, they make $600 to $1,000 more a day than you. Because they don't have to log it. So how's that fair? Ask the FMCSA these questions, not the drivers. You can't blame the driver, right? You can't blame the bull hauler because he's just trying to do a job like we are. You can't blame him. You got to go to the source, and the source is the one that's saying that's okay. Shit, if you and I had that, we'd say it was okay too. Who's to blame them? Again, it goes back to we are where we are today because we have elected the people that are in power, that are making decisions and picking winners and losers and deciding who's got a bigger wallet, who can buy the exemption, who can get behind and donate to them that can stand for the exemption. The exemption's about money. Please, everybody stop with the... It's all about money, like I said. The amount of money it would take to prepare them to be able to meet the mandate, which means they can't run straight through, so the cattle have to be unloaded, so they'd have to have special facilities, special trailers, billions of dollars out of their pocket. They ain't having that. You think they mind spending $10 million to buy off Congress to get an exemption? Shit, those cattlemen are smarter than we are. Because they knew the bottom line. It's all about money. It's all about money. So that's why we have to stand up, because we need to change this. We need to change this philosophy. It can't be about money. It's got to be about what's fair, what's right, and what's best. And that would mean leave us alone and allow us to drive the way we need to drive. Give me my 14 hours and let me do with my day what I want to do with my day. That's what I want. That's what everybody wants, from what I heard. I don't want a time limit. I don't want to be told how to do it. If there's going to be a cap on it, fine. 14, 16, whatever it's going to be, leave me alone to do my job. Just like you do them. Leave me alone. Again, guys, all over the world, this industry is standing up. We're just catching up, and we're going to get there. We're going to be on top. We're going to win. I see people holding signs and videos at truck stops, and I keep seeing the flyers and hearing drivers talking on the radio. We need to ratchet this shit up, man. We need to ratchet it up, and we need to draw the rest of the people in. They need to get on board, because like I said, this is about the future of this industry. It's not going to last. It's going away. What was that? Hang on, I gotta go back to this. I gotta read this out loud. Indeed, it's about money. It's always about money, guys. Those of you that aren't clear, that's why the only thing that's going to work is to shut these trucks off, to park these bitches wherever they may be, whether they're home, or they're on the shoulder, or they're middle of the city, and they're middle of town, wherever it may be on the 12th, you just need to turn the key. Just turn the key. If it's before that, everybody will be ready. But hey, you know, within a week, we have our numbers, you know. We'll know. So if we decide to do it early, we'll do it early. We decide to do it after, we'll do it after. They're not going to know exactly when the hour is going to come, but the drivers are going to know. And when you turn those keys off, it is wherever you are. That's why we gave you a cutoff date. Try to make it home. But wherever you are is where you are. And that's the only thing they're going to understand. To shut them down, to park them, and to subdue this industry by any means necessary. To strangle transportation for the day, for the week, however long it takes for them to come to their senses. Nothing about me is radical. Nothing about me is crazy. Nothing about the people involved is. We're just tired. We're tired of people deciding how we live our lives. That's what we're tired of. We're tired of paying taxes after taxes after taxes, and then they want to tax us some more. This industry pays well beyond its fair share of taxes to help maintain the bridges and roads. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm tired of hearing because they're bigger and they do more damage to the road, they should pay more. I'm really tired of that. Because get a calculator and start adding up the estimate that they give. Let's just say it is 3.1 million trucks times $550 on the 2290. Then start taking the IFTA and the fuel tax, and let's just see how much money they're bringing in every year. Don't forget registrations. A portion of your apportioned tag goes to those funds too. So we don't pay our fair share, huh? I'd like to see the average American come out here and do our job and be expected to pay what you guys have to pay to operate a commercial vehicle. I really would love to see it. They wouldn't take it. The industry would have already been shut down. Look, guys, just telling you straight up, you don't do something, you don't start getting your shit together. Like I said, find another career path, man. I would get fluent in like McDonald's, Burger King, as a cook. Don't try to get a job as a cashier because technology's taking those jobs away too. But you may want to think about going to a culinary institute and get you one of them really cool jobs at a casino or something. You know, like doing the sushi or the, you know, that kind of shit, because those are the jobs that are going to be available. So, I mean, I'd really start thinking about food service, maybe medical billing for you guys. I know a lot of you probably don't even want to think about becoming a nurse or something like that. But food preparation, definitely. Food preparation, bone up, because you're going to need it. Y'all think this is a joke. You think this is funny. This shit is coming. Joe Rockevet's up at Western Truck. I'm telling you, Western State Truck. You guys need to see the shit that's coming, okay? Like everyone has said all along, there's shit going through the court system you guys aren't aware of because you're not awake, you're not aware, you're not paying attention. You don't watch, you don't listen, you don't see. Those of you that do, congratulations. Those of you that have, welcome to the fight. But for the rest, there's shit going on every day that you will end up like me. The reason I break it to you little pieces at a time is because I don't want you to have a massive coronary like I have to have, okay? I don't want you to have to start punching the dashboard and punching the cab of your truck and then collect your thoughts and explain, how am I going to tell everybody about this shit? The owner-operator is going to become, like I said, like the dinosaur, like the stagecoach, like everything else that's happened in history. It's going to happen. So be prepared. Like I said, go Phoenix online, do something, get a degree doing something, because you're not going to be trucking if this shit keeps up. You guys have a great night. Once again, I know the truth hurts. I know it sucks when someone tells you, but that's the way it is. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. They want their shit, but they don't want you. So, solution is easy. April 12th, we take ourselves out of the equation and see how they like it. The company drivers, Steve, there's a lot of them that have joined, made comments. There are things that a lot of them can try to do. Look, pay attention. Nothing is going to move. So even if their trucks are running, how are they going to get down the interstate? Where are they going to go? because their clocks are going to run out sooner or later. They cannot do the job in the amount of time that they have now. I don't think it's going to make any difference whether the company trucks work on the 12th or not. Like I said, to a company driver, my hat's off to you. You want to work? No one's telling you not to work. Each his own. Everybody has to make their own decision. But there are going to be places in this country where if you're traveling, you're not going to go very far. That's all I'm saying. So, roll the dice or have the trucker flu. It's up to you. That's all I'm saying. Pretty simple. Because we're tired of the shit. You know, they don't realize how many of you are ready to just tomorrow do this. And they don't realize the only thing keeping a lot of you from doing it is the leadership that you guys have that's preparing you and building, you know, helping you build up your team and helping inspire you and educating you on your rights and the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and all the things like JoJo's doing, just trying to educate you guys so when the battle goes forward, you know what your rights are. You know what they can and can't do. That's what we've been doing. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Because it takes time. No great battle is ever fought because someone woke up and said, well, let's go do this. They planned things. They thought out things. And right now, we're merely in the recruitment stage of the battle. We need soldiers. And the more soldiers we have, the easier it's going to be able to fight the war. So again, for the politicians and the other people who snoop on my videos and watch them, be very thankful that there are people like me that talk the shit I talk, because some of these guys would already have been causing chaos and havoc beyond your wildest dreams. Believe it. Because they've been ready for weeks, for months, to shove it right up your ass sideways. Guys, keep spreading the word. www.truckersstandasone.com. Get your flyers out. Get your banner. Shit. Make a sign like William made. That little 4x4 piece of plywood, you can buy them. They're like dovetail board at Lowe's. They're like $1.99. A quart of yellow paint's like $2.50. And a little thing of yellow oil-based black paint. For $20, you can make a sign you can keep in the sleeper and you can get out with. You know, I got a pretty badass banner about the length of the trailer that Bill made me. We need to keep spreading the word because it's working. So just keep doing what you're doing. Get your flyers out. Stand with your signs at the truck stops. Again, what are they going to do? They're going to take away your birthday? They can't take away your birthday. And at our age, birthdays are just another birthday, so who the hell cares? Take all the birthdays you want at this point. Take them all, because I don't give a shit. Go out and make some noise. Christmas is coming. And I want you all to enjoy the holidays. Be blessed with your families. This is the last live video I intend to do for the week. I want y'all to go do what it is you do and do it on your own. I'm starting to pay attention to the things that are going on, to the numbers, to the posts. I'm just watching now. And so are other people. So it's up to you. But Christmas is coming. I hope you make it home to your families and your loved ones. I hope that you decide your family's more important than a load. I hope you decide that being home with your family is more important than any company or any load. I pray that you spend that time remembering that Christmas isn't about gifts. It's not about what the commercialization, just like our industry, it's not what they've made it out to be. You know, Jesus was born in a manger. In a manger. The child was brought into that world, and one day that man grew and he died on the cross for all of us, for our salvation. That's what Christmas is about. It's about the birth of our Lord Jesus, our Savior, the only one that can decide history, the only one that can decide how things are going to go in the course of that history. So just remember, Christmas is a lot more. It's about giving, not receiving. So spend that time with your families and remember why we're all here on this earth. I love each and every one of you. I continue to pray every day for this entire industry, man, especially for me, because I can get a little rowdy. But remember, all we have is each other in this industry. There is nothing else. We have no one else. We have the guy to our left, the guy to our right, and our families. I hope you instill some of that knowledge in your children at Christmas too, and remind them this isn't about gifts. It's not about a tree. It's about salvation. It's about peace. I love all you guys. You guys have a great night. Keep fighting the fight your way. I love you guys. Be good.